So many of you were asking if I was going to be testing out the new Nars liquid blush, and of course I am here to deliver. You already know your girl gotta come through. I am going to be testing out this new liquid blush as well as comparing it to the old liquid blush from Nars. If anyone is curious about what I'm wearing on my eyes, I am wearing one of the new Oden's eye palettes. I am wearing the Jewels and Gem palette. I did just post a review on both of these palettes on my channel yesterday, so if you are a fan of Oden's eye or if you've been curious about the brand, definitely go and check out my video from yesterday. Those two palettes launched on May 20th and I am loving my eye look. I just was so excited to play with them again today. So we are gonna dive in. All I have on my face is foundation. I am wearing the Lancôme Teint foundation. If we are shade twins, I'm in the shade 500 Suede W. It does come in the standard Nars packaging. Of course, classy Nars. This is what the blush looks like. This looks so different from the OG liquid blush. I don't know, this doesn't really look like Nars to me. I'm not the biggest fan of this packaging. I kind of like the idea of having a blush so you can see where you're at with it, how much is left, whereas this one is just like, you know, you may wake up one day, go and put on the blush and it's completely empty and you really wouldn't know. I don't know, I think about some of those things. It's probably crazy to think about, but like sometimes I do think about that sometimes. Only because it actually has happened to me before. This blush retails for $32. It really is on the more expensive side of blush. This says it is a lightweight skincare infused liquid blush that delivers a buildable rush of color with 8-hour hydration. Oh, so it's light coverage. I only picked up one shade. I picked up the shade Insatiable. There's a couple of other shades on there. This was the one that I felt like would actually show up on my skin tone. I honestly was a little bit nervous because the swatches online looked really sheer and they're saying it's very lightweight and it has a natural finish, so I don't know. So I don't know what to expect, but I am gonna compare the old one with the new one. I already love the old liquid blush from Nars and they're discontinuing it. I noticed that there's just one shade left on the Sephora website. Makes sense why they're discontinuing it because they're coming out with these, but from the sound of both of these, they are completely different. In this blush, you get 0.23 fluid ounces. In this one, you get 0.5 fluid ounces. There's significantly less product in this blush, which is I'm not too happy about that, to be honest, because this blush is expensive, so I want to really get my money's worth, but this looks really tiny. So it has a big doe foot, which I do like, and apply 2 dots. It feels really cold going on. Grab me a blush brush. I don't know why I thought this was gonna be like a berry, like a berry, like burgundy. I don't know. Definitely does feel hydrating. It kind of almost feels serum-like. And wow. Oh, I am actually very shocked. Those 2 dots gave me all of this. Let's see how it blends out. Okay, yeah, it definitely does blend out, but you can see the color. It does look very natural on the skin. I can kind of see my skin through this in a way. It does definitely feel lightweight. I'm actually shocked at the pigment on this shade. Maybe it's because I put 2 dots. Maybe I should have just done 1, but we know I like a lot of blush. And I don't have concealer on or anything like that, so I am gonna put concealer on, so this is probably kind of gonna, you know, disappear a little bit, but it does have a natural finish. You know what this is reminding me of? This is kind of giving like a tinted moisturizer blush. I feel like this blush would pair really well with tinted moisturizers. I wouldn't necessarily put this with a full coverage foundation. Like today I'm wearing Lancôme. I don't think I'd pair a full coverage foundation with this blush just because of how lightweight and more natural this is. I feel like this is definitely perfect for, you know, tinted moisturizers. And I definitely feel like there is truly a market for people that only love tinted moisturizers. I'm actually really shocked at this, but I do want to compare this to the old blush. So I'm only doing this. I know that they're discontinuing this, but I just want to compare this blush with the new one, just in case you own this one already and you just really want to know the difference. I'm trying to be very thorough here. So I have the shade Dolce Vita in this one, in the old blush. This one is a very runny formula. I feel like the new one is not as runny and liquidy as this one. So I'm just gonna take it on the back of my hand, which is usually how I like to do it. And it does have a lot of pigment to it, and it kind of has like a dry down to a satin finish. Just gonna see. The old blush kind of has a little bit of luminosity to it as well. It does have a significantly different dry down. This one has like more of a satiny dry down finish with a little bit of luminosity and more pigment. This one is more hydrating, a little bit more natural on the skin, where it just melts into the skin, like literally melts into the skin. You can definitely see the difference in both of these blushes for sure. You know, I'm actually really shocked with the shade range of the new Nars liquid blushes. I don't necessarily know if I would be able to get other shades, because from the looks of it and how this blush is, this one is the deepest, which shows up really nicely on my skin tone, but every other shade is a lot lighter, which I don't really know if that's going to work for me personally. I'll be sticking with just this shade. I probably won't go out and buy any more. And this is quite an expensive blush as well. I have a couple things now that I've gone and finished up my makeup. I love to have an open mind, and I also love to keep other people's preferences in mind as well as my own. We all know that I'm a blush lover here, and I've tried so many blushes, and I definitely have figured out what kind of blushes I like, which blushes I can kind of work with. I definitely have my preferences when it comes to different blushes and to blush in general. I wasn't sure if I was going to like this or not, but I really wanted to try this out. I usually don't go for more like really natural blushes, but it's Nars, you know, it's Nars. And I was like, okay, maybe, you know, when they say you can build it up, you definitely can. I definitely feel like building it up works. The only thing is I did not like how after I powdered my face, I was like, where did the blush go? Where did it go? So that right there kind of tells me, for me, this is a blush that I would use under a powder blush, just to give myself, just to give a little bit of like something. You know, there are certain blushes that I can use on its own and not have to put a powder blush over it. This is one of those blushes where I would definitely have to put a powder blush on top. Now, it is kind of dewy, kind of has some stickiness to it, which is another reason why I personally would set it with a powder blush. Now, I kind of messed up my makeup, because after I powdered, I was like, whoa, where is the blush? Where is the blush? I don't see the blush. So I took the brush that I used for the blush and I just tapped over it after setting my face, and it does not work very well on top of powder. That is because it is such a dewy blush. So now I can kind of see like a harsh line between my powder and the blush. So that I would definitely not recommend doing. Like, this blush is definitely for those of you who love, you know, more natural everyday makeup. You like things more lightweight. You love a good tinted moisturizer, which I have my days where I love a good tinted moisturizer, but I also love my blush. So I love to have a lot of blush. And if you're the kind of person that loves blush, like, you know, you like that intense blush, you love a punchy blush, I don't necessarily recommend this blush for you. I am really sad that Nars is discontinuing this one, because I would have much more recommended this one to you. But I really did just want to compare the two, because a lot of you were actually curious about what the difference was going to be. So that's why I compared the other one. I know myself and I know me, I don't think this is a blush I'm going to be reaching for a lot, because I'd much rather just go for a blush with that I don't really have to build up. But I know that there's some people out there who love a buildable blush. So if that is you, this will be absolutely perfect for you. But if you love a more punchy blush, or if you just love Nars, because I know we all love Nars. Nars has some staples, okay? Nars has a lot of our staples, and hello. Nars has definitely really been killing it this year with their releases. But this is just a release from Nars that I don't think is personally for me. But yeah, so I hope that this video was helpful. I really, really do. Please let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I will be back with more new videos. I may or may not have a new blush. I may or may not have picked up the new blush from Charlotte Tilbury. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.